Welcome to the Challenge Chronicles. I am Devin Jordan. I'm with Rob McIntyre and Trace Armstrong. We are here to do our preview, our fantasy draft, our thoughts on the trailer for the Challenge USA, which will be live July 6th on CBS. We've gotten a lot of content on the different cast players, the first 3 minutes of the show. They've really given us a lot of media trying to boost awareness that this is actually going to happen. I think there's a chance. So I thought about this before. I think there's a chance it could be good. I think I'm more optimistic about this now than I was a couple weeks ago. When I watched the preview of the first 3 minutes of the show, it definitely had a CBS vibe to it, right? You could definitely tell that their fingerprints were on this in a way that kind of shaped what it looked like in a way significantly different than the main show. So I'm really excited to see what the product looks like. And it really kind of hit me that the Survivor people are on it, right? And they got a lot of bigger names, or a number of bigger names, right? I almost, when I was watching the preview last night, I couldn't believe that Tyson was actually going to be on this. So for me personally, that'll be something that I'm excited to watch.
Yeah, and I think it's fair to say this will be his only appearance on the challenge based on his interviews he's been doing.
That's probably fair.
He has not had kind words to say.
No, he hasn't. Oh, I agree. Yeah, I think the biggest part of this is that outside of these Love Islanders, the rest of these people should know how to play to some level. Like the Survivor Big Brother people for sure will know how to maneuver politically, and that's a part of the Amazing Race as well. So, just the fact the majority of the cast has that experience and goes into it with that mindset is promising to me.
Could they not find another show besides Love Island?
They probably want it on. You get a lot of influencer money involved. A bunch of people who got really popping cameo profiles. Just get attractive people on the show.
I was about to say, you're talking about people who are like TikTok influencers here with Love Island.
Yeah, you don't think that's their motif, Devin? If you've got six-pack abs, then they want you on the show.
That's not really like a CBS thing, though.
Oh, I'm saying maybe this is the Buna Murray involvement.
Is Love Island on CBS?
I believe it is. We should probably know
it is.
that.
It's all CBS shows.
CBS shows. Yeah.
They're all CBS reality shows. Yes.
I'm thinking about this more. I'm almost kind of surprised that they even branded this as the challenge. They didn't need to do that.
They didn't, but that gets us interested.
Yeah, I wonder how much of a factor that was, right? That there would at least be some base level of support for a new
I think that's really what it is. Like, love it or hate it of what the main challenge show is right now. The challenge show is a brand name that has literally been around since the year 1998. And so that brand carries weight if it's in your portfolio. Instead of trying to come up with a new name, just leverage a brand name that has a built-in audience and introduce it to them, because Paramount Plus has made the challenge a centerpiece of the streaming service. So you want to drive subscriptions to Paramount Plus. How else can you do that? Well, let's do the challenge, but let's include, these big names. So I think it's a good move. Whether it's going to pay off for them or not, I guess we will find out when the ratings come out on July 7th.
What did you think about the trailer?
I really enjoyed the trailer. The trailer is just a trailer, so I'm not going to put much stock into that for how the actual season is going to look. The biggest part to me was obviously just that for the end, the intention is to bring on challenge veterans or champions, which we had talked about a lot, but had never really been confirmed until that point.
Yeah. Yeah, it was hard for me to imagine them doing a War of the Worlds final without Bananas, CT, Wes, and people like that. It just seemed like
I think they'd at least give them
a bad idea to just... Yeah, it would have been a bad idea, but keeping them out of these earlier 4 shows is the right way to do it. That if you're going to do this way, make sure that it's... And you got to pay these vets for the final to make it worthwhile. The type of people you want from the main challenge show on this final thing are the Bananas, the CTs, the West, the Laurels. You want to entice the big, big names for this to make it feel special.
Do we know when the other shows will begin to air? The ones that were filmed in the
No
other
clue.
countries. Do we have any
No clue.
timeline on that?
No idea.
We-
I can tell you that the Argentina show is either filming or has completed. I have zero information, and no one is talking about Challenge UK or Challenge Australia.
Rob, fix your camera a little. Pull it like so it's like
It's plugged in
you're
right
not
now.
like
so this-
hanging out in like the bottom like.
There we go.
Alright.
That's
I'll have
better.
to lean forward throughout this whole production. We'll make it work.
You can't move the camera forward.
Well, it's plugged in right
You
now.
can't
I
move
told
your
you it was
phone?
about to die after the last.
He's
Even with it plugged in, you can't move it.
I
Like,
can move it a little.
is it
bit.
like-
I can like?
is this some like wall mount phone charger you have?
Well, it's not a very long one.
well, no, he's got the cord that's like this long. So
Not- yeah.
Really?
Well, it's also like the way.
Why?
Well, it's where I'm sitting compared to where the outlet is.
yeah, I get
not
it.
all-
We're just giving you
we're
a
not all
technology hard time.
Devin Richman over here.
I have
who
to
has
tell-
outlets all around his house.
Dude, the desk that I sit on right now is like 60% wires. Just
Yeah, and I don't want that.
Uh,
I don't want it to be
don't
all
you-
colored up.
If the viewers of this show could see this area right here, they would want to throw
Like
up.
Devin, one
So-
lightning bolt hits the wrong part of your house, and you are either electro or dead.
what are you talking about, Rob?
We got wires all around.
No, that's my no. I will give Devin a pass here. That's my office. There is literally
This is
a computer in front of me, a microphone, a monitor, a TV, DVD, VCR because I'm ripping a bunch of VCR stuff to a hard drive. There's 2 external hard drives here. I have a stand-up desk over here that has 3 laptops on it, and then I have like a full vinyl, cassette, mini disc, CD setup behind me. Like this is like
this is
if lightning struck this, there would be
You're
nothing
leading us
left.
all very
Rob, this
vulnerable
is
to a
this is how
house.
this is. Rob, like, are you fucking Chuck from Better Call Saul? Like, no electricity anywhere in the house. You got the
No,
wires
I'm
like ripped out. Like, you got a lantern in there. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
It's 60%
Okay.
wires.
I don't think like the wires. Like, how is having more wires gonna like affect me with if lightning strikes? Like,
Oh,
it's not like
power
lightning's like
surge,
attracted to like.
spill
What are you
water
talking
in the wrong
about?
place. It's just a lot of vulnerability.
Yeah, I think I'm. Gonna
This
be
is
okay.
a true story. This is the truest of true stories that sounds completely made up, but I swear on all that is holy, this story is true. So when I was in college at Florida State, so this would have been 2006, there was a housing development in Tallahassee that they started and abandoned. So there was like a bunch of homes that were like 70% complete, and the dishwasher was an illegal person from a different country, and he was squatting in one of these like homes. He had like a mattress, a TV, like the kitchen was built so he could use the kitchen, kind of. He literally found like 8 big giant ass outdoor extension cords and wired them to one of these houses he was squatting in, and he had been there for like 3 years.
Jesus.
So you want to talk about a fire hazard? He had like 10 different surge protectors plugged into one
See, do you have
extension
surge
cord.
I got
protectors,
it.
Devin, or no?
What do you mean surge protector? Like, what do you like,
Well, you don't have.
Rob? Like,
You fucked him into the outlet.
no,
man.
like, what the fuck are you talking about, Rob? Like.
If you
Is
put-
this an issue in Washington D.C.? Are people's like computers getting fried? Like,
I mean, my phone does. My phone does overheat quite a bit. So
that's
Really, what we're worried about here?
That happened to me one time, like 12, 14 years ago, when I first got an iPhone. Like the original iPhone that I had. That's when it
see,
happened.
mine overheats.
That's
every
literally
two,
never
mine
happened
overheats
before.
every 2 to 3 weeks.
That's mind blowing to me. That's like I can't believe that's a thing.
Well, but that's always been an
That- you-
issue. Like I've had different phones, and it's always happened.
That's crazy. Do you like leave your phone like when you park your car? Do you leave your
Do you
phone?
just leave it in the
No,
direct
no.
sunlight
He
on the
leaves
dashboard?
He leaves it face up on the
Well,
dashboard.
that's why I have the map in the car in case my phone overheats and I can get directions. Still, I don't have to use the. I don't have to just wait around until, or like what I'll usually do is it'll give me the notification it's about to overheat, and then I'll unplug it and then like leave it in front of the AC for
Oh
a while to
my
cool
God.
down.
This
just-
episode is
Rob,
so meta.
you
And we're
just,
like
like-
6 minutes in.
Do you just stream porn on like 3 different like applications on your phone
No,
all at the
that's
same time?
disgusting.
Like, is that what's
No,
going
I'm
on?
in the car.
I know that's how you have to get it to overheat at this point.
No, I'm using the map chat.
All right, I have to tell you guys about my. I have to tell you guys about my trip to Mexico. Let's talk about the. I wouldn't even call it a trip. I was there for like 5 hours, but it was so absurd. I know, so that's what I'm saying. We're gonna do this. Then I'm gonna tell you guys about that later because it was so ridiculous that I had to tell you guys this, and I thought it would make sense to wait until we were on the podcast. Let's go. Who's picking first, Rob?
I think I'm picking first.
I don't even care who goes first. Trace, go first.
I'm already.
Go wild.
I think Rob's got it set up.
Who's going first?
Rob's got it set up. So Rob's pick number 1.
Pick Danny McRae first overall. He's an NFL player with an MBA degree. Sounds good to me.
How did this just get worse for me? Why am I in charge of this? Okay. Rob, you fill it in. There we go. I'm just going to leave this up. All you, son.
He wouldn't have been first for me. I've seen him play Survivor. And physically, he's definitely very good. I think he's too big. Physically, he's very good, but strategically, he was fine. I just think that there are some other people that I would probably rather have. And he's going to be really quiet. I don't think he will be involved in drama in any way.
You find a very good color green for this.
Mm-hmm.
He's not exactly someone that they would go to for confessionals either.
Okay. Well,
I agree with you there.
He's just a safe pick to me at number 1. I have a hard time seeing you being eliminated early.
All right, I give you that. I think he's so big, and he will probably be around near the end, but I just think that, like, if you're trying to pick a winner here, because he's not going to be involved in drama at all. So I just don't see that going well. So, based on his interviews and his sarcasm and everything that's going on and just his grasp of politics, I have to go with Tyson as mine. As bitter and angry as he has come across with his sarcasm, my gut feeling is he's going to dominate this game, and the chicanery in the final is going to screw him over, and he's pissed off about it. So I'm going with Tyson.
I think that he's kind of in the situation where I could see him be the first one out, right? But I could also see him go really far into the game. I think that's kind of my outlook on Tyson this season. But I think that's a really good pick because it's definitely possible he'll be involved in drama, and he's one of the all-time great confessional givers. That's something that they'll look to him a lot with, I bet.
You could argue for a lot of people to be the biggest names. I legit think Tyson is the biggest get of this cast to get freaking Tyson. 4-time Survivor player, winner, was on Winners at War. Like, to me, this is probably the biggest name that you could have gotten that's of this cast that we have.
Who's the second biggest name?
That's a great question. I would probably...
who were on very recently. Like Tiffany and Kyland and Xavier, they were all very big characters on Big. Well, I wouldn't even say Xavier was a big character, but big names certainly on Big Brother. But it happened so.
Do you think that they translate well into a challenge format?
What do you mean?
You said Tiffany, Tyler, and who was the third person?
Tiffany, Kyland, and Xavier would be the 3.
Tiffany, Kyle, and Xavier.
Kyland.
So do you think? So they were big.
They were big names on Big Brother. Like, they were on the season. Kyland and Tiffany in particular dominated the discussion. Xavier ended up winning the season. So that they were big characters on Big Brother. But again, like it was so quick ago that it happened. It's just hard to compare that to Tyson, who's been on TV for so long.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, Devin, you get 2. What you got?
This is the person that I probably would have picked first, just from physically. I mean, I think she could be on the regular challenge and be probably one of the best people because strategically she's arguably the best, if not one of the best. Physically, I think she's going to be one of the best women, if not the best. I'm going to pick Sarah Lucina.
That's a great pick. Great pick. I think she has the ability to win it all on the female side, no question.
Especially when you look at the female side, and it seems like from a physical perspective, I guess I shouldn't say that. I was going to say it seems like the female side from a physical perspective seems like it's going to be an easier path compared to the men's side. But I guess I don't really have any reason to believe that, so I kind of take that back. But
if you had to put your money on a female who could play the game physically, competitively, politically, Sarah is by far the best female you could pick.
So I feel pretty comfortable with her, especially compared to some of the other people left and kind of my knowledge of them. And for my next pick, I'm going to go with Shan Smith. And pretty much for all of the reasons that I gave about Sarah, I would also give to Shan, except I think she's a little bit of a notch below Sarah. The one advantage that Shan has over Sarah is I do think that as far as confessionals go and potential drama, I think she might be involved in a little bit more. I think Sarah, I think it's definitely possible that Sarah tries to stay under the radar just because she is a Survivor winner, right? She's already made $1 million off of this. Do we have any idea how much the winner of this will get?
Oh, that's a good question.
Do we know?
Yeah, their share of $500,000.
Wow.
So it sounds like it's going to be their share of $500,000, and based on the trailer, you have to have at least $5,000 to make the final. So I think we could say you have the ability to win up to $250,000 per sex, basically.
That would make sense to me.
Or gender, or whatever you want to say.
Trace, who are the big people? So you've watched The Amazing Race. The Amazing Race doesn't even come out every year now, does it? Or does it still?
They usually get a season a year, but because of COVID, they were like 2 years between seasons. But they've already filmed the next season, but they stick to a pretty strict 1 season per year format now because quite frankly, the show can be repetitive at times. Like they'll go back to certain locations, and it really just depends on where they can get clearance to shoot. So it just depends.
So are these like old school Amazing Race people, or are these
There's
more
only
people from
one old school. There's only one old schooler. Leo is probably the cast member that was on the furthest back. Most of the rest of them have been on like in the last 4 years.
And were these people that when you saw the names come up, you remembered them immediately? Like, or any of these people? Let me ask this a different way. Or any of these people that you saw the name come up and you got really excited because you thought they would be good on the show?
One of them, yes, but for his personality. The one that's going to be, I think, competitive physically, I wasn't really excited. I just went, he's got a real shot to win.
Who's that?
Because he's just a great physical person. I don't want to say because I don't want to affect my draft here. I'm trying to answer your question while also keeping my cards right here.
This is a cast preview. I'm trying to
You're
get
trying.
people to listen
You're trying.
We'll get there eventually.
I understand. We'll get there as I pick.
All right, go.
Yeah.
Someone pick.
As we get picks here. So you took both of the two people I really wanted after that. So kudos to you on that. I feel like the drop off on the female cast happens after this person. So I'm going to go with Tasha. Just because I think she's a train wreck and she's going to be involved in conflict.
Train wreck, I think.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. Yeah, I don't think she's going to be very good.
Train wreck is not too strong with Tasha.
She always had such mixed, I feel like, opinions of her. Because it seemed like the rest of the cast did not like her very much on Cambodia, but she was pretty popular with everybody after Cagayan. So I don't know what that means really, but I think
she just has a very strong personality, and I think even though she's on the older side of the female cast, I think she's actually the oldest female cast member. I just think she's not going to take shit from people, so she will be involved in conflict. I don't know how she's actually going to perform here. I don't even know that she's going to compete well. A lot of the way that I'm judging my draft, for those of you listening / watching, is this show is going to be on CBS, and I don't see them editing it like political CrossFit. I feel like the personalities and the stories are going to be more front and center, and I think Tasha has the potential to get a lot of screen time because of that. So, there's my reasoning. Rob.
Okay. First pick, I'll take Xavier, former winner of Big Brother. I think that'll be a storyline. He's also just in exceptional shape, which is going to help on the show. Following that up, there's two names I'm stuck between here. I don't know that either of you guys really are hurting for either of them. So I'll take Cachet Proudfoot. Number one reason because it's a fantastic name, but beyond that, I forget what her collegiate background was. I believe it was, I don't know if she was like a dancer or if she was just like a track athlete or whatever. But she seems like she's in great shape, and she did have an athletic background, and she was a very polarizing character from what I could find. So I think all those things blending together makes for a decent pick here in the third round.
Okay, Cachet. Since I know nothing about these Love Island people at all, like, I'm just going to take your word for it. I got nothing. I don't even know how to handicap that. So, I'm going to stick with my big personality motif here, just because this guy, and Devin will probably have a different opinion. I think this guy is delusional at how good he is at times. And I think that he's going to rub a lot of people the wrong way, so it's going to cause conflict. I'm going to take Ben from Survivor.
How good does Devin think he is?
I mean, I don't think he's good at all.
Yeah, he's not, but he's delusional. Like, he thinks he's really good.
I mean, he won,
and so he's going to grate on people.
Dude, it was like, it's just because, I mean, like, a lot of people that have won aren't really like that great of Survivor players. Yeah. Like, I mean, he's like case in point. Like, if you, I think when they do winner rankings for Survivor, right? He's one of the ones that are like consistently.
He's in the back half.
I think he's like
put it generously.
5 typically, right?
Yeah, he's not quite that bad. I would put him like maybe like in the. I would put him in the low 20, like high 20s, like 28, 29.
I would put him lower. I mean, it was I couldn't believe he won, right? I mean, and I think a lot of it was I don't remember specifically at the time because this was years ago, but a lot of it was his situation, right? I mean, I think it's in, and I think potentially I don't want to get into this. I'm not going to say it.
Well, let's not get into.
I don't want to get us like
going. That's not that's a rail we don't need to go down. But
so. Yeah, I don't think he's. I don't know. Like physically, I think he'd be fine.
If the 12 most like analytical Survivor fans were voting instead of as the jury, which isn't a good way to do it because that's not how the game works. But if that was the case, he would not have won.
So I think he could potentially do well in this game because I think we haven't talked about this. There's a good chance that it seems like the Survivor people are going to stick together. Right, that there will be some type of Survivor alliance, and if he's part of that, I think that that's going to benefit him immensely.
Well, my thing is, I would think all of the shows are going to have some type of agreement going in. You don't think so?
I think that's possible, but if you had to bet on which group is more likely to be able to stick together and be able to move that house in a direction that benefits them, who would you put your money on? Big Brother and Survivor.
The interesting thing is that mostly a lot of these Big Brother people are all from that same season. Like Tiffany, Aza, Derek Shao, Xavier, and Kylan were all from the same season, and five of those six were in. Or was that four? Four of those five, excuse me. We're in a very committed alliance together. That alliance broke down, obviously, at the end, like all alliances do in those games, and there did seem to be some pretty significant emotion between that. So maybe that won't carry over, but there's definitely a working history there for a lot of them.
Yeah, and I mean, there are further Survivor people, too, right? 3 of them were on the same season, and Ben was on a season with Desi, you know? So there are a number of people that have played together.
Yeah, I think that's going to be... I think what that really means is just since the Amazing Race people are so down in the numbers, then that's a problem for them more than anything.
How are they down in the numbers? There's less Amazing Race people?
Just like how many...
There's
How
less
many
of
them are there?
them.
There's like 4 of them, right?
I think there's one female and 2 dudes, so I think it's 3.
Like barely any of them on. But
If anything, I think it will allow them to skate by. I think Love Island probably has the bigger target because the way the CBS people probably look at it is, hey, the original reality shows are these 3. Who the hell is Love Island and why do we care? I think Love Island
see, I
actually
don't
has a
think
bigger
so.
problem
I
politically.
think that they'll just perceive them as dumb.
Well, that also makes them
Well, but I
easy
feel like what they're
targets
going to do
too.
is just like either side's going to try to manipulate them because they think they're idiots, and if you get like enough of them, you'll have a whole voting block that'll help you take out the other side.
All right. We should probably try and zip through this.
That's what I was, yeah, we got to get going.
Yeah.
So
All right, what you got, Devin?
I'll go Desi Williams
That's a good
for
pick.
pretty much.
Well,
I think
is she on the
she's
cast
suited to
yet?
be a.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think
She's
I'm
on the
looking at
cast
her name
for
right
sure.
now.
On what?
I see her picture on my screen right now as a cast member.
On what?
She was in the preview videos too
Okay.
that they have on
Yeah.
YouTube. Is she not on your list?
She wasn't on the because she was an alternate. I don't think she was on the photographed list. Okay,
Yeah, she's on. Unless
you guys are right that she's on. My apologies. I didn't have her on the initial. Actually, it was a problem to have on the initial Google Doc because I assumed there were 16. We're really running off fumes here. I apologize, but yeah, she's on. That's my fault.
I think she's suited to be a better challenge player than a Survivor player. Politically, she's very good. Strategically, I mean, she's good enough. She's good enough at all those areas. Physically, she seems like she's going to be very good, which is much more of a factor in the challenge than it is Survivor. And I think that's why she will hopefully be more accomplished in this season than she was on her original season of Heroes, Healers, Hustlers. For my next pick, I will go. Let's see here. I will go with, because I already have 3 women, I will go with Kylan Young, Big Brother 23.
That's a good pick.
All right, Trace, go ahead.
All right. I'm glad that he has skated this far because of your lack of knowledge of the Amazing Race. I'm going to take James Wallington from Amazing Race 32. He was by far one of the more all-around athletic people to ever do the Amazing Race. And I remember episode 1 going, he is going to win this season. And he hikes mountains for fun, super agile. He's not over 6 feet tall, but he's also not super scrawny. He's in really good shape. If he can navigate the politics and he makes the final, I think he's winning the final. But he's going to have to navigate the politics, and he didn't have to navigate politics.
It's
on the
funny. I
Amazing
have a
Race.
friend who.
So
actually,
that is the
I
question
have a friend
mark.
who knows James's. Doesn't really has a. I have a mutual connection that knows James's spouse. So, that is. So he was of interest to me. But wait a little bit too long to pick him, I guess. For me, so James off the board. I will take Angela from Big Brother 20, I believe it is. Yeah, Big Brother 20. Just she has an athletic background, and she was a polarizing enough character on Big Brother that to me she's worth taking care. After that, let's see. There's no one who's screaming out to me. I'll take Dom, I guess. I'll get a piece of that Survivor Alliance if that really steamrolls. And I maybe partially it's just I'm the one person who actually likes Ghost Island, but I enjoyed him on that season, so I think he'll be a presence in the house.
Alrighty. Alright, so it's back to me. Similarly to my last pick, I'm going to take Kayla Lee from Amazing Race 33. She did not win, but what really I think people should watch for with her is she is the stereotypical CBS would want her to do well type cast member. When she started the season she was on was the one that they got 3 episodes in and they shut down for over a year for COVID and came back and finished it. She kind of struggled in the first go round, but they were still towards like the middle of the pack. When she came back, she was in better shape, and she seemed to understand, like, I have to do better than this. And she showed up really ready to run and play, and it was actually her partner, I think, that cost her the win on Amazing Race 33. And I think once again, if she can navigate the politics, I think she is a favorite to win the final, provided she's not staring across against Sarah Lucina. If Sarah gets out, Kayla's got a good shot at it. I still think Sarah's going to probably cakewalk this on the female side in terms of winning this, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. She said in her preview video, Sarah said that she did 7 marathons on 7 continents in 7 days, which I don't even know how that's, like...
What?
Technically,
I don't even know how that's possible.
Yeah, I don't know how that's possible. But that's what she said.
Well, you know what? She spent her million
Crazy,
on, I
right?
guess. Oh, so she got paid to serve as like some sort of celebrity, D-list celebrity promo.
I mean, she ran 7 marathons. She didn't say she won. I mean,
Okay,
she
no,
could
whatever,
even
dog.
doing it.
half jog, though.
Yeah,
I mean, that's still a hard thing to do.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like, I don't get how you do that.
I don't think that's physically possible.
She said she did it.
I need to do some background.
She said she did it.
Like, full marathon?
It did, because, like, it just doesn't seem like there's enough time, right? To, like, travel. Like, when you factor in the time to travel to, like, each of the...
To me, the Australia one is the one that kills you, because just getting from Australia to anywhere is like a 12 or 14-hour flight to another continent.
It's also like, I mean, do you do one in Australia and then one in Asia in the same day, so then you have enough time to travel over the Atlantic or Pacific Ocean?
To Europe?
You go Australia, Asia...
Africa,
Europe, Africa.
No, I think you go Europe, Africa.
Go down, and then you go...
South America, North America?
South America, and then you finish in, like, California.
When do you hit Antarctica?
Well, you can't do one in Antarctica.
That's the one that I don't get.
Come on.
That's what she said. I'm telling you, dude.
I don't know how you do
How
that.
do you do one in Antarctica?
That's my question. Like, I question the validity of her statement.
Here, I'm looking it up right now. If there's a marathon, I guarantee you there is.
You know,
there's
amongst two.
She counts Central America as a different
Antarctica.
How do you?
It's December 2022. We can join right now if we.
Antarctica?
It's 2022. Oh no, yeah, December 2022. We can do it right now. Since 2005. Let's do it.
I couldn't run a marathon in my own town, much less Antarctica.
And how do you
Antarctica,
do that?
The most I've ever ran is a 10K, and that was a long time ago.
Icebergs?
It's on ice.
Well, not
Antarctic
all of Antarctica is
marathon.
under ice. That is a misnomer. If you are on one of the coasts, there are areas that are not ice.
Okay.
Dude, Rob,
it's not like the Arctic where it legit is all ice.
But that's
all right, here, I'll take.
All right, so who you picking?
That deserves further exploration.
I'll take. Oh my God! All right, we're already to that point where like.
Who the hell knows? Who knows?
All right, I'm gonna go David Alexander because maybe the Big Brother alliance lasts for a while, and then I'll go. Tiffany Mitchell, Big Brother as well.
So Tiffany and who? Sorry,
David Alexander. Wasn't he supposed to be on the challenge at one point in time?
I don't believe so.
No, that name sounds really familiar for some reason.
I mean, he's been around the Big Brother community for some time.
I mean, what do I do here? Like, I don't know any of these other people, really.
It's all for having poor research before the show and recording the show right before this one.
I mean, there's also not a lot about some of these people either. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, I guess I'm just going to pick Alyssa. All right, cool. I don't know who she is or why. She's 25. Great. She's young, so maybe she'll have some endurance. I don't know. Maybe a little more drama being in the Gen Z late millennial category, I guess. Y'all are way more dramatic than my generation.
The most dramatic person on this show is, and it is not the Gen Zer. I'll go Christmas, I guess. She was considered an athletic threat on her season of Big Brother, which is all I got to work with here.
Who'd you pick?
Christmas. She was almost on the challenge, too.
Okay, yeah. All right.
After that, I mean, should I
It's
start
back
taking
to
some of
me
these? No, I got
again.
one more. Should I start taking some of these Love Island jabronis? Um,
I was thinking about it.
You already took one. You took
yeah,
Cachet, so
Couldn't you
take.
see
you have broken
I'll take
you have broken
Cinco.
it.
Cinco
So
was a
it's
former football player. It's good enough for me.
the thing with the Love
that's
Island?
who I was thinking. So
The thing with the Love Island
eh.
people is I could easily just see it turning into Big Brother and Survivor just like throw the Love Island people in against each other for the first few weeks.
Oh
Couldn't
yeah.
you easily see that
Oh
happening?
yeah. Of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
completely. All right, I guess even though I don't think he's going to be a good competitor, like he's a little shrimpy dude, but he's really funny, so he might get a lot of confessionals. I'm gonna take Leo from Amazing Race. So I guess I've captured all of the Amazing Race cast members that are on this. He's funny, so at least he'll be entertaining. However long he's on, I don't know that he'll be there very long.
I'm gonna go Giovanni Vega just because it seemed like he was in decent shape.
I mean, I feel like most of
about
these people
all
are
I
in
got.
decent shape, right? At least.
Most of them, yes.
I mean, Dom doesn't seem like he's in decent shape.
You know, I think he's well, I don't know.
I think he said it himself on his video. That was like the one thing that he said, or one of the things that he said is he wished he had more time to prepare physically.
Okay, well, that's not great, but what can you do? I mean, my thing is always, like, I always wonder with these people on TV, where do they compare in terms of physique to like average people? Like, if I'm on this show, where do I rank in terms of physicality?
You're probably higher than the average viewer, yes.
Okay, well, that
I would
doesn't
say
mean
that
much.
you're probably at least the average viewer is probably me, which means they're about 15 to 20 pounds higher weight than they should be.
And then fuck it. I'll go Shannon St. Clair. She's smoking hot. Why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, you might as well. It's just like, who the fuck knows, man? I don't know.
Again, for people who are
who
just
else is
watching
left
this,
that-
we are typically much more informed than we are about this cast.
I feel like if you're watching this, you probably realize that we know a lot about the challenge. We know a good amount about Survivor. Everything else, good luck. So I guess I don't.
That's why we can fly
Oh.
through these last rounds.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, I'm just trying to even just line up who the hell these people are. I guess I'm gonna take Azah.
Yeah, that's a good pick. She was a big enough character on Big Brother. Well, she'll get some screen time. I think it's Aza, by the way, as well. Trace. Yeah.
Aza. Okay, sure.
I'll take Enzo. He's just another one of these guys where he's a big enough name where you think they'd like to feature him a little bit. God. Okay. Has Justine been selected?
Nope, she's
We'll
on
go
the
with
board.
that. I'll go with Justine.
Okay. I don't. Let's see who is this person. I guess I don't know.
We gotta get moving here, bro. We gotta get moving.
Come on, let's go.
Sure, Josh. I will take Josh. I don't know who the hell he is, but sure. Wait, no, he's an alternate. Never mind. I don't want Josh.
An alternate?
That's what I've got on my list is he's an alternate. I'll take Kyra Green. I don't know who she is or anything.
Okay. Is he listening
I'll
to the
take
cast? I thought he
Has
was.
Derek Zhao been taken yet?
No.
He looks like he could, mix it up out there. Why is no one taking him?
Because we don't know anything. Well, I probably should have taken him because he was another one of these Big Brother 23 people who I just think there's a chance they're like the focus of the show.
He looks like he could do some stuff.
Okay, well, you can have him.
I'll take him. And then I'll take Cashel
Oh
Barnett.
darn! I wanted him. just because they already had cachet, might as well have cachet and cashel. But no, it was not meant to be.
So if Kyra's off the board, I took her. I guess I'm gonna take Celi Vasquez.
Any significant reason why they're Big T, or we're just shooting from the hip?
I just need to pick a person, and it sounds like a fun name.
It is a fun name.
So I'm gonna go with that.
All right, we're gonna end up with 2 people unselected here, which is abnormal for us, but that's just kind of how the cookie crumbled here. I want to take a Love Island person I don't know anything about, or another Love Island person I don't know anything about. Okay, we'll go with Olivia.
All right.
That's a cast.
We're actually looking forward to watching this. At least I am. I'm actually very intrigued. I think this actually could be very good. And so I might not know a lot of these people, but I'm interested in it. And that's more than I can say for a lot of the cast of season 37. So
it seems like they are giving, and you can stop sharing the screen too, I guess. But
okay.
It seems like they're giving TJ a lot more freedom with what he does than they do on MTV or
most of the hosts on these CBS shows do have quite a bit of autonomy. I mean, Probst obviously does, but even your what's her name, Julie Chen from Big Brother, she has a lot of actual control in terms of what's going on.
Or a bigger role, right?
Same with Bill on Amazing Race.
Present.
Yeah. It's interesting too because Probst at times just feels like part of the cast on Survivor West. I never really feel that way about TJ. I also enjoy how Probst always frames all decisions as we. He'll say we came up with this, which for him is accurate because he's a very big part of the decision making process for Survivor. Whereas TJ always says I, it's like my final or whatever I did, and
my final. We know he didn't design that final.
He might not even know what it is before they go do it.
No, he does, because he has to know where he has to be for his next setup. So, yeah, he at least knows, but he's not involved. So, all right, Devin, tell your story. Let's get out of here.
I don't think we have time for that. It's 2 o'clock.
Oh.
Yeah, we do. We got it.
We can through this real quick. So, my roommate and I went to Tijuana with a friend that was in town that I had not seen.
Actually, your daughter's out of the room for this story, by the way, Trace, with the way it started.
Yeah,
she's definitely not.
If you have sensitive, if they're sensitive, I'm gonna leave out a lot of the. So I told my roommate that we need. So with a friend that I hadn't seen in 12 years, right? We went down there, the 3 of us, and it was so absurd that last night I told him we needed to come up with a power ranking of things about my friend that were the most absurd that he told us or happened while we were there. And I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna cut out a lot of the things that. Rob's going to want to shut this off moments into this, and I'm leaving off the stuff that would really drive him up the wall.
He's already checked out.
So number
get on it.
Number 3. Number 3. He told us that the amount of times that he had COVID is the same amount of times that he's had chlamydia. How many times has he had both?
4.
I'm not participating in this exercise.
Rob, come on! Why are you participating?
We'll say 3.
5.
That's
How is it possible to have COVID 5 times? How is that possible?
Are those confirmed positive tests?
It sounds like it, yeah.
I mean, Devin, you say it sounds like it, and you also
the at-home test can be very inaccurate.
I can ask him. Let's just imagine that it is. I'll message him after this and be like, "Did you test positive 5 times?"
Okay, keep going.
Yeah. Okay.
The second one was, as we were leaving, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. We're tapped out. It's time to go home. And we're going back towards where the taxis are to take us back to the border. And he's like, hold on a minute. I'm going to go get one of these Tijuana street hookers real quick. I'm going to need 20 minutes. And so he walks off to the corner, and we're standing across the street, and we see him go up to this group of 3 people, and he puts his arm around one. They start walking around the corner, And then all of a sudden, we see him stop on a dime and start moving aggressively quickly towards us. And we were like, what the fuck happened? And he goes, it was a trans person. And we were like, oh my God.
We're getting in really bad territory now. I'm getting calls about
Number one.
We're not putting down that person. We are just saying he made a decision to run. So we are not
there's
passing
nothing
any
that's
judgment
wrong with
on
that,
anybody.
right? That just wasn't what he was interested in. That's not
what he was interested in.
That's not what he thought he was what was going to
It's
happen.
not what he thought he was soliciting.
Number one, the entire reason that he was in San Diego to begin with was because he had paid a coyote $3,000 to have his girlfriend transported from Mexico across the border. And he was in Mexico in San Diego at the border to pick up his girlfriend's dog, who was this 4-pound chihuahua who was being taken across by some guy, picked up the dog, and then was going to drive to Arizona to pick up his girlfriend and go home. How insane is that?
Again, Devin, I work with a federal. I work in federal immigration contracting.
I haven't seen this guy in 12 years. I haven't seen this guy in 12 years, and he's there to literally pick up his girlfriend, who he's having smuggled across the border by a coyote.
This is going on the Patreon feed.
Good times.
I thought it was
good
This
times.
is going on the Patreon feed.
We can just blur Rob out on the video.
My name is
he
still
doesn't.
present
He
throughout
didn't
the
change
whole
his
thing.
voice during this time.
It says original Tiger King. It doesn't say Rob McIntyre.
I'm getting phone calls about this.
You're the original Tiger King. All right. Thank you
I
for
don't
listening,
know where we
everyone.
could end any better.
We're gonna cover. I guess we haven't said it explicitly. We're gonna cover Challenge USA. It'll probably be released Thursday, Friday every week. Especially now that All Stars isn't gonna happen. If this is gonna be on the public feed, we've been doing All Stars recaps. What?
This is going to be on the public feed.
What?
How about this? Here, Rob. We will cut the story
There
from
we go.
Tijuana
Cool.
off and make it. You have to pay Patreon to hear just that, and we will
better.
post audio of this story
Fine.
just on
We'll
Patreon.
cut
There
it
you
off,
go.
leave a bleep sound
Fine.
for 6 seconds, and then that can go on the Patreon feed. And then I'm not being brought in for federal.
It's
I'm
not in
being
the
brought in
public
for
domain at that
questioning.
point. All right,
Have
all right.
Clearance work.
We'll fix that. All right, let's go.
Thank you for
Finish it off,
listening,
Devin.
and we'll
Let's go.
talk to everyone soon.